Well, it's about noon now. I don't know, I've been up all fucking night and day now. But I've been going over some stuff in my head, thinking about some of the choices I've made lately, and that kind of pushed me into the past. You know, thinking about what has been, what could have been, all that. But here we are in present day. I love present day. What did you get me? Now I'd started kicking back to my time on Johnston Island for some reason. Pretty interesting time. It was many moons ago. I was 22, 23, something like that. But anyhow, it was after I had come back from my little England, Ireland. Spent about a month over UK and all that good stuff, but anyhow, yeah, so I decided I was going to go ahead and go with a different offer I had after the whole Alaska, cooked in Alaska for a while, before that. Anywho, I took a job offer as a cook, working for a company that I've tried to look up. It apparently doesn't exist anymore. But they were contracted out by the U.S. military to make food, and it's a very interesting opportunity. Gotta say that. Guess Johnston Island was one of the very peculiar things I've done in my life. It's a place that I could definitely say not that many people have had the chance to go to. It's got a very interesting history. Nuclear testing, stuff that didn't go too well. Chemical, biological weaponry storehouse. Everything was getting destroyed when I was going out there, and while I was out there. But apparently, no matter how careful you are, whenever you move stuff to destroy it, there's always contamination. So, but actually, there was right before I got out there was a woman that I guess they found out she was pregnant, and they got her the fuck off the island because who knows what kind of crazy flip-a-babies she was gonna have. My testicles still glow in the dark. It's good times. Nothing to do with the flipper baby, who was the nuclear testing dummy. So anyhow, yeah, I reflected back on the old Johnston Island, Johnston Atoll bit. What is it? 600 miles south of Honolulu, Hawaii. The company, they flew me out, paid for my ass to fly out from Florida to Hawaii. They paid for my hotel room for the night at the airport, which I'm sure was expensive as balls. It was a nice place, but as soon as I got there, I got off the airplane, grabbed my shit, went to my room, dropped my shit off, and walked outside and found a fucking bus stop and just got off the bus whenever it fucking randomly decided it was time. And I went to a sushi place, the Sensei. Then I wandered about and eventually found my way back to the hotel. But, and then the flight out to Johnston Island the next day on a wee little plane. Pretty interesting. But the island itself is mostly man-made. And, I mean, we're talking a wee little island. It's a mile long, and at the widest, well, I'm the widest, the widest point in the center of the island, it was 3/4 of a mile wide. So 1 mile, 3/4. Yeah, and they were back to the contamination thing. They had these big machines. They were burning the impurities out of the sand and all sorts of wacky shit. It was pretty cool. They tell you if you fish, don't fucking eat the fish. Just throw that bitch back. You'll end up growing gills, apparently. Yeah. Fucking Aquaman. But man, the day that I got out there, I met the chef that I was going to be working with, which he ended up not lasting very long. They kicked him off the island for a wacky reason. Talked about people's pubes or something else. I don't know. Something along those lines. But so the chef was like, hey, you want to do something cool? Check this out. So we grab a bunch of like scraps and stuff from the kitchen, and we jump in the truck, and it's a long drive. Drive to the Waikiki little restaurant, pretty cool. By the beach, imagine that. So yeah, we jump out of the truck, and he takes a rope and he ties it around this like big haunch of roast beef that I guess I have no idea why the fuck he was getting rid of it, but lo and behold, here we are. So he ties this rope around this giant thing of roast beef, and said, here you go. And fucking hands it to me. I'm like, what the hell? He's like, throw it in there. And so he has me throw it in the water, and about 2 seconds later, I'm wrestling a shark for this roast beef. So that's pretty cool. Pretty fun times. Gotta wrestle a shark. Man. But speaking of sharks, yeah, I was talking to a couple of guys. They eventually got me into the mindset I was gonna go out with them scuba diving. You know, they were fucking professionals, so I'm like, alright, sure, why the fuck not? So I gotta take my swim test. So while I'm doing my swim test, another person that was scuba diving right at the same time was attacked by a shark for the first time in the history of the island. So they stopped everyone from scuba diving from that point on. So no scuba diving. That was pretty lucky, I guess, on my part. Literally escaped the jaws of death. But, yeah, so, I don't know, I've been, like I said, kind of going back and forth in my mind, thinking about some of the stuff that's been going on lately, where I'm going, where I've been, and this whole Johnston Island thing just kind of latched onto my brain. So, I don't know, just kind of needed to vent, and hopefully this will help me be able to sleep. Up for way the fuck too long. But, yeah, so that shit happened. Of course, I guess I could have stayed out there longer, but that's a different story. Fuck. Yeah. I guess that ties back to the whole England-Ireland journey, actually. That was right before the Johnston Island shenanigans, but, women. Fucking women. But different women. Actually, the last female that I dated or was with or whatever, Jesus fucking Christ, that was a long time ago. Creeping up on the better part of a decade, because I gave up on that a while back. At first it was, I gotta work on myself. Then it was, I'm too fucked up to even fucking bother. I don't know. Anyways, so jumping back on that, I was with this other chick. We were living in Orlando. We ended up getting our own place, whatever. But yeah, so actually, yeah, she paid for the tickets for us to go out to Hawaii, and she had a stepsister that lived out there. So it was the second time I got to go to Hawaii, but this time it was actually for my pleasure. Man, it's a different beast out there, man. But yeah, Hawaii's quite beautiful. And there was the first trek that I took was also cooking. That was my first true love. Cooking now in the butt. Oh, yeah, I got the chance to go out to Alaska. It was right before I was 21. I know I wasn't 21 yet, because when we got alcohol, it was awesome. I had a brilliant idea. I was going to buy vodka and just dump the powdered Tang mix like right the fuck into it, and that doesn't work. It doesn't dissolve in alcohol. So it was chug chug, crunch crunch crunch, pretty much in that order. But I have no point to this. This is all for my own outlet, toilet, for my brain. So, I don't know. I've done some pretty strange and beautiful things, I guess. Seen some very fantastic things. I never really intended to. It all just happened. Guess I'm just a lucky little meatball. Man. Yeah, I never had any intention or any kind of plan. No idea that I would ever be going to Alaska or Hawaii or any of this other shit. It just fucking happened. Of course, I've always wanted to go to England, and Ireland just sort of kind of happened for a week. It's pretty sweet. That part of the journey is a real, like I remember the first day, and like this really cool hotel that we were staying in. Oh yeah, this was a lot of alcohol ago, so bear with me. But the first day, maybe it was the second day, that we went to go see some some fort or castle ruins. Then there was Bunratty Castle. Pretty fun times. I saw one donkey, one jackass, facing one way, and another one facing another way. And they both started urinating as soon as I approached them. So it was a sign from God, or the penises of jackasses, that I was on the right track. I was where I needed to be. Yep. I really have not gone very far. Yep. So, well, I guess that's all I'm gonna ramble and rant for now. Like I said, hopefully that'll just get this out of my head and maybe bring me a little bit of peace. I need a peace. Let me get some rest. And see what other adventures the universe has in store for me. It's time. It's time for another adventure. It's been time. In fact, it's long overdue. However, it's starting to look like a very strange beast of an adventure. I don't even know where the fuck to begin with that, but maybe going to Wisconsin soon. What the fuck? Sure. Why not? But I had been putting some thought into selling my car and taking, whatever cash flow that I had. I had some saved up, and then maybe just getting the fuck out of the country again. I kind of kicked the idea around with a few other people, but I don't think they understand how badly I need to move. I need to I'm a creature of dynamicism. I'm a dynamic beast. Chaotic. Chaotic neutral, if truth be told. But, yeah, I just need to flow. I'm not even sure that the Wisconsin thing. First off, I don't know. I don't know if that'll pan out. It's the circumstances of that whole thing are very peculiar, which suits me just fine. I kind of pushed some strange, in some strange directions at peculiar time, without just outright saying what the fuck I did. I did stuff. Should be entertaining. But if that does not feed the need to move, that mercurial creature that I am, then I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I just... I think back to my grandparents, and they were saying how amazing it was, you know, that I went to Ireland and they had always wanted to, and so on and so forth. Then several years later, I literally watched my grandmother die. God. So much death. But, and now my grandfather, yeah, and he's fucking gone, mentally and physically, and he won't get to go and see and be, you know, there. Oh, that one little thing. Yes, I guess it is better to regret having done something than to regret not having done something. I guess saying that out loud and speaking of the dead, I guess it's been a long time coming. I need to go see a couple of friends of mine. Been putting that trip to the cemetery off for quite a while. But that's a tale for another time. The dead travel fast. That's Bram Stoker's Dracula. Dracula. In case you're retarded and don't know how to read. So, I am actually going to fucking stop rambling and ranting and go and try and sleep. And if I can't, I might just go catch up with some old friends. But not that I very well expect anyone else is going to be watching this, but if someone other than myself is watching me ramble on like a lunatic, then heed my words. If you want something, go for it. Don't keep waiting and putting it off. Shia LaBeouf that shit. Just do it! So, I am Audi 5000. Peace out. Word to your motorboats.